Hello everyone, here we are at the first guide of the new 1.29 patch. A lot of things have changed in the East Asia on this patch, and if you don't know about it, go and check out my 1.29 preview video. As a result of all the changes, I thought it best to redo a couple of my earlier guides, one of them being the Manchu-Qing guide. For this one, we will start as Jianzhou just like last time, and then farm Manchu and eventually farm Qing, and stomp down Ming while we're at it. In this guide, I will talk about some of the changes that have been introduced in the new patch, and then we will go and see how to play with Manchu and Qing in the early to mid game. Now instead of 4 blobs of Jianzhou, Haiqi, Korshan and Yeren, we have all these little blobbies, and that makes it easier to expand as you can just unite them one after another and they will be gone before there is any threat of aggressive expansion. So at the start, we have a truce with Korea till 1450, which is good as we don't have to worry about any aggression from them. And now we start as a tributary of Ming, which is also pretty good. Jianzhou province now has a new modifier, the Pek2 mountain, which gives plus 0.5 prestige and plus 1 tolerance of true faith, both very good modifiers. We start as Chengri, but if we look at the religious map, a lot of our provinces are Confucian. And good thing, we have Confucian as a syncretic faith. If you have never played Tengri before, a syncretic faith counts as your true faith for all intents and purposes. Plus you get an extra modifier from different syncretic faiths. For example, here, from Confucian, we get minus 10% admin cost and minus 10% stab cost. For the starting decisions, we can take the Vision Quest decision as it only gives plus 5% stab cost. Prestige is more important right now as we will be uniting a lot of tribes around us, and we will take the plus 2 tolerance of heathens modifiers as well. Now, to adopt Manchu identity or farm Manchu, we need 2 provinces. One we own and the other is in Haiqi, and we need to own 20 core provinces in Jurchen or Manchu culture. This requirement has changed from the previous patch where we only needed 3 or 4 provinces, and you might think this means a delayed Manchu tag, but no, it's actually just as easy to farm Manchu and we will see how. As for culture, we have the Jurchen culture around us, which makes it super easy to expand into the surrounding hordes. And if you notice here, Korshan does not have the Jurchen culture, so they might be a good ally at the start as we don't need to expand there quite yet. However, I suggest you wait a bit as there's a small chance Ming might attack Korshan early. If Ming goes to war against Oirat instead, or Korshan becomes their tributary, then you can ally Korshan. We also have new missions, and to complete the first mission we need 3 provinces, 2 from Haiqi and 1 from the new tag Yudege. So all signs point to Haiqi being our first target for war, unification. Jurchen tribes also have a different idea set now. We start with 10% morale and 15% manpower bonus, which are fine, and rest of the idea set is decent. But we won't need it as our aim is to farm Manchu as soon as possible. To start, we will send our ships to protect trade and then raise banners. With the nerf to number of banners, we can only raise 3 banners right now. So we will also raise a host from our tribe estate to get our cavalry numbers up. That will put us over the force limit, so let's just delete some infantry units. We will rival Haiqi, Yudege and Donghai. We also start with a 2-4-4-1 leader, by the way. Now we will just wait a little bit till our new cav regiments are raised and put the national focus on military for now, as we want to make sure we get the military tech first. You don't have to wait till all your caps are ready. We have a very good general, so we can just go ahead and attack Haiqi. In my game, they were allied to Yeren, but Yeren is way up there, and you can kill Haiqi army before they join up with Yeren's. So I did not call in my ally and declared war. Make sure you occupy it fast, as someone else will declare on Haiqi soon after. While still in that war, I noticed that Yudege's ally Korshan would not join the war, so I attacked them immediately as well, and now I was fighting Donghai, Yudege along with Korshan and Yeren. And while I was in these 2 wars, the new Oirat event happened where Ming's emperor is captured. So now if Oirat goes straight for Beijing, they will win this war big time. But of course, AI being AI, they didn't do it and just settled for some money and war reps. I, of course, full annexed Haiqi. Don't forget to raise the provinces, then core them. Soon after, Yudege took a lot of provinces from Yeren, which worked in my favor, as now I could just get 20 provinces from this war to farm Manchu. So I pieced out Donghai with Humiliate and all their money, and then took all the provinces of church and culture and money and pieced out Yudege as well. Time to raise and core all provinces again. which meant I had to wait for a bit. So finally in 1451, I could farm Manchu. Like I mentioned, farming Manchu is not harder now. It's basically the same time frame, you just need to spend a few more admin points. So we are now Manchu with Manchu culture, which is part of the Chinese culture group now. You also get cores on all of Manchuria region. So next I raised more banners and then declared Reconquest War on Solon and co-belligerent their ally Nivek. It's all my cores, so I have to unite them all. An event happened during this war, the rightful ownership, where you get two choices. One is that the event fires and another is where you lose a claim and core on a province owned by Ming. I took the first option and Ming just gave the province to me. A free province. Remember, we are still a tributary of Ming, although around this time you can start refusing to give tribute as we are going to cancel tributary status fairly soon. From the war, I united Nivek and united Solon. All their people under Manchu banner are now super happy. It's also time to dissolve the alliance with Khorchin, by the way, because of course, Khorchin people deserve happiness too. And I decided to ally Oirat here as it would be nice to have them in our war against Ming. In my game, Korea had attacked Donghai and took a province, which meant I could reconquest on them, and that is what I did. This is one of the reasons why you need to keep the tributary status with Ming right until you declare war. From Korea, I decided to take some more provinces along with a fort and their money. Now I was just waiting for the truce to finish, and in the meantime, it was time to develop Renaissance. I think just deving up the capital is the best choice here, as you don't have any farmlands or cloth provinces. Right before attacking Khorchin, I took the mission that gives morale and manpower recovery modifiers, a fantastic general, and perma claims on all of Khorchin. So of course I attacked Khorchin. I also embraced Renaissance in 1460 and then united Khorchin as soon as I had the admin to core all the provinces. Once you have 8 banner regiments, you can also complete another mission that gives even more perma claims. This mission tree is OP. And so in 1461, this is Manchu, and finally we are about 300 development, which means we can break tributary and start the countdown to Ming's unguarded frontier disaster. We also became a great power apparently. By the way, now you also get an event telling you about the Ming disaster, which is very helpful. Next, it was time to liberate the Manchu people in Donghai, and they were all united soon after. They are our courts after all, so we don't need to pay any admin for it. After that, Ming rivaled me, and that was when I decided to attack Ming. Declare using the mandate of Heaven CB as the province cost is 50% and you need to take their capital, which is right there. By this time, Oirat also had 10 favors, so I called him in and declared against Ming. I had the general with 2 siege pips, so sieges were not going to be a huge problem. The first Ming War used to be harder in previous patch, but in this patch it's fairly easy as Ming would likely be losing mandate fast. And if you can call in Oirat, the war becomes even easier. Keep sieging and make sure you only fight in flat terrain. AI will likely go for Oirat first, giving you enough time to siege down a couple of forts. So I completed the siege of Shenyang, then marched down Beijing. The good thing about Beijing is that it is flat terrain, so even if Ming attacks you there, you will likely win. I was sieging with my infantry while keeping my caps next to them. It is a level 3 coastal fort though, which means it takes a while. Hunt down smaller armies in the meantime if you can. During all this, Oirat got declared on by Chagatai, and of course, I was not going to help them. We have to take over Mongolia and Oirat eventually, so it was a temporary alliance anyways. I got Beijing soon, and Oirat peaced out soon after. Now that you hold Beijing, Ming will get another negative modifier to mandate ticks, and I was just buying time till we get enough war score on Ming until the unguarded frontier disaster fires. And it fired very soon after, where Ming loses 2 stab and 20 mandate, plus minus 0.3 mandate per month. This brought Ming down below 50 mandate, which means we can complete the mission. This fires the event Treachery at the Great Wall, giving us new general and decreased local defensiveness at Shenyang and Beijing. Not helpful for us right now, but if you attack Ming while their mandate is below 50, the sieges will go a lot faster. I sieged down one more fort, killed off Ming's army again, and then I took my course back. I also took the provinces needed for the next mission, and I took all their money and war reps. In my opinion, it's not worth taking mandate from Ming in the first war. Let them suffer from low mandate for a while. It makes it easier to take them down for good. In this war, our side lost 60k to their 217k. Horde cavalry is strong, especially in flat terrain, and especially when Ming has negative modifiers from both low mandate and the disaster. We got a few provinces, a lot of money, which meant a lot of inflation as well. 21 prestige, 41 power projection. Excellent. We are rich and we have 100 power projection. Ming is never going to recover because they cannot counter the minus 0.3 mandate hit from the disaster. And it's only 1470. The hard part of this game is done already. Now it's just easy sailing. Ming's mandate was going down fast, and so I decided to attack Korea next. Ming wouldn't join because of that, and that also meant minus 10 mandate hit when they don't join a war against Tributary. From Korea, I took their capital and few provinces and some money. Then it was time to attack Mongolia as we get a lot of claims on them and we need something from them to form Qing as well. It was a quick war and I took 100% war score worth of provinces. In 1482, my peace with Ming had just ended, so it was time for war again. They had 0 mandate, which means they already start with low enthusiasm, and they got declared by Oirat and Chagatai later as well. With the mandate of Heaven CB, I took their capital and sieged down whatever I could. This time, I decided to take the mandate. Here is where you can decide if you want to take it or not. On one hand, you can take the mandate, form Qing, because now to form Qing, you need to be Emperor of China. Or if you want to play as a horde for some more time, you can just keep attacking Ming over and over while expanding in Mongolia and Oirat. I wanted to form Qing early to get those ideas, as now Qing has one of the best idea sets in game, and I also wanted to experience the new mandate mechanics. This is also a good time to start building a navy. Mostly galleys and some transports. So I took mandate from Ming along with their money and war reps and then formed Qing in 1486. We start with 60 mandate and 60 meritocracy. Taking the mandate also completes another mission which gives permanent plus 0.5 modifier to mandate. It's very helpful. Also, we become an empire, which means all Chinese culture is accepted, and we get perma claims on all of China. We have also become Confucian with Tengri faith already harmonized, which is nice. With the mandate, we have a temporary modifier, the new imperial dynasty, although we don't own Nanjing and Canton, which means minus 0.05 for each of them. So we need to get some tributaries going fast to get the mandate high. Meritocracy is harder to keep up though. Now we only get plus 0.25 per level of advisor, so I ended up getting a level 3 admin here as I would need admin to core my expansion anyways, and it would help stop the bleeding on meritocracy. You do get plus 1 meritocracy with a mission for 20 years, that is also very helpful. We also have an amazing idea set, starting with minus 20% coring cost reduction and minus 10% AE reduction. I attacked Korea next to force Tributary. We have perma claims on them and we have a mission to take that land, but I think making Korea a tributary here is more important as mandate is our priority. And finally, it's time to pick up the first idea group. And I will give you a quick rundown of my thoughts here. You can basically play Qing in 2 ways. Either go expansionist, take over Ming quickly, then start India and go over to Europe. Or you could go a more chill route and focus more on colonization while still expanding in China and India and beyond, but not actually rushing it. So, if you want to play colonizer, if you want to not bother with Europeans much and just expand into China and Southeast Asia, you should go exploration first. Start exploring and start colonizing. Eventually get your colonial nation set up, all the while keep following the mission tree and keep expanding in China and Burma region. Make tributaries where you can, then expand into India and all the islands in Southeast Asia. This is actually how devs intend us to play Qing, as is evident from the mission tree. Going exploration first, there is a small chance that you might even spawn colonialism. And since you will be going full colonizer, you can take expansion next and then military ideas later, as Chinese tech group units aren't that great. I think it will be a nice chill game. Qing is super strong, and as long as you can keep the mandate up, you can just chill and go full colonizer while slowly expanding in Asia. And if you own the Golden Century DLC, there's another huge benefit. You can expel minorities, which means your mainland provinces will be Manchu culture as you expel other minority cultures to the colonies. So now you can recruit even more banners, and even with the slight nerf to banners in this patch, they are still fairly strong. All that said, not everyone enjoys colonization games. If you are one of them and don't want to go full colonizer, you don't have to take exploration ideas yet. I say start with admin ideas instead. Since you will be rushing to take on all of China, the minus 45% coring cost reduction is huge. And that's what I did in this game. Just take the first 2 admin ideas and you can finish up the idea group later. By the way, Ming Plosion has begun with Dali becoming free, then Jin showed up, then Shun. My next target was to free the Mongolia people as I had claims on them. I also took provinces from Oirat in this war, so I could neighbor more nations, and that's going to be the strategy going west. In the first war, take provinces to border more nations, then make them a tributary in the second war. You will have a weird snaking border, but that's the best way to expand here. Also, don't make tributaries of the breakaway Chinese nations. You have to free the people of China. Declare on every Chinese minor as soon as you get a border. And so, I declared on Shun next, using the Unified China CB. While you're at war with this CB, you also get plus 0.05 mandate, which is great and a very nice incentive to be at war as much as possible. I full annexed, united the Shun people, and with all the CCR modifiers and perma claims and same culture bonus, the cost and duration of coring is ridiculously low. Next I attacked Jin and full annexed them as well. Then I waited till my courts were done. It only takes 7 months to complete courts on these provinces. Then I attacked Ming again. They had a 3k army, that's it. By the way, taking mandate from someone also gives additional negative modifiers for 20 years on them, so make use of that time and take everything you can. If all that wasn't enough to defeat Ming, you can also complete another mission which gives the event Green Standard Army with these modifiers. Ming loses stab and 20k manpower. You get 20k manpower and 20 mandate. It is actually super easy to take Ming down in this patch. So from this war, I took those provinces. Yes, that meant 142% overextension. But the coring time is so fast that it doesn't really matter. I took those provinces because I wanted Jinan to dev up the next institution. It is a farmland with cloth province. And I wanted Nanjing to remove the mandate hit modifier. By the way, we already have 80% CCR this early. The new Qing is OP. 1504, this is what the map looks like. Messy borders, but we are progressing well. More tags appeared in Ming, so I attacked them and full annexed them one by one, and by 1509 I had developed colonialism in the Jinan province as well. After that, I attacked Oirat as it was time to make them a tributary. During this war, another new event fired where Taiwan becomes a new tag, Tungning. Also, I had to fight Korea before as they were allied to one of the new Chinese tags, and while they became independent, they were attacked by Ashikaga who took a lot of provinces from them. This was great! Now I could attack Ashikaga with Force Tributary CB and make them a tributary as well. But first I decided to attack Chagatai. As this was the first war with them, I took some provinces to border more nations. Next, for the second idea group, I took defensive. It is a safe idea choice honestly. Chinese units aren't great and the extra morale helps. Plus you get corruption reduction as the admin defensive policy, which will help in late game. Remember, corruption now has a negative mandate growth modifier. Then it was time for Ashikaga. The war was actually easier than I thought it would be. I had enough galleys to overwhelm their navy, and from this war I made Ainu a tributary, and then I made Ashikaga a tributary, which gave me 100 prestige by the way. And so it was time to attack Ming once more. They were allied with Ryukyu and they had a couple of subjects which they get from events. I made Ryukyu my tributary, and then I wanted to finish another mission where you need to cause 20 devastation in a 25 dev province in China not owned by you. It's a weird one, but I completed the mission, then took some coastal provinces. By this time, I had 100 mandate, so I decided to take a chance and pass the first Celestial Reform. It will give extra meritocracy, which we can definitely use. But it will cost 70 mandate, which means negative modifiers from low mandate for quite a while. The idea now is to keep attacking people with Unite China CB to make sure the mandate growth is faster. For the third idea group, I think taking exploration is a must, and here's the reason. 1. You can border more nations in Philippines and Indonesia region who will become your tributary. More tributaries means more mandate. And you don't even need to finish the colony. Just start the colony, make tributaries, then abandon the colony and go for the next target. It's super easy. Second reason is if you have the Golden Century DLC, you can expel minorities, which we already talked about earlier. It will give you more banner regiments. You can even try going exploration before defensive if you want. Meanwhile, I kept attacking people to keep the Unite China mandate modifier going, and actually there were a lot of events that took mandate even lower. So in 1538, I had 24 mandate. However, RNGesus finally smiled on my people and my emperor was now humane. It's a new trait in the new patch which gives you plus 0.05 mandate gain. It is very good. Next I attacked Yu, who held Canton, as I wanted the negative modifier from it gone as well, and now I was finally making good progress on mandate growth. After that it was time for second Chagatai War, which meant making them a tributary this time. Then I declared on Ming again and took more provinces. Once you establish 10 tributaries, you can complete a mission which gives 20 mandate, which is amazing, and I kept attacking Chinese tax one by one and full annexed them. There is another mission where you can make Yu a march. Don't do it, just full annex them and the mission will give you prestige and army tradition instead. In 1560, it was time for the Lost Ming War. I full annex them, and this actually completes a mission which gives 20 mandate and gives you cores on all of China. So technically, you could just focus on Ming earlier and don't attack other Chinese tax. This will save you a lot of admin points, but it will mean you will just sit around doing nothing for a long time waiting for Ming truce timers. I mean, it depends on your playstyle, and I personally don't like sitting around doing nothing. So here we are. We were again at 100 mandate, and I decided to take the second Celestial Reform, then click the mission button, which brought the mandate back up to 50. You should try to time these missions with Celestial Reforms whenever possible. I also developed printing press in another cloth farmland province, and then it was just about taking all the cores back in China region. It's actually super easy. The only annoying part is marching your armies around, which takes a long time. So this is me in 1571. We have the whole China region, we have the mandate of course, we have completed 4 Qing ideas, and you should try to complete the ideas soon, they are just too good. And we have all these tributaries, 20 actually, thanks to my colonist who has been hopping around the southern islands. At this point, meritocracy is high enough and is increasing quickly enough that you can start harmonizing religions. I would not advise to harmonize Vajrayana, Theravada or Mahayana, as those are heretic religions and you already have +2 tolerance on them, which means you don't get any unrest from those provinces. You will miss out on minor modifiers from harmonizing them, but it's not worth it right now. You should however start harmonizing the Muslim group and then Christians when you can. After this, my expansion plan would be to attack Timurids and again take provinces, which helps me border more nations. I can then take Kazakh and Uzbek as tributaries and start my slow war against Russia, as it will take some time to take them down. And similar plans with Southeast Asia and India. If you follow the mission tree, you get free claims on almost all of Burma region, which is nice, but after that you're on your own. I think owning most of India would be nice, but you do need to get more tributaries as well. Keeping on top of tech will be very important once Spain and Portugal get their colonies in Southeast Asia. I would start building a navy with heavies and transports at this point. In case Spain attacks one of your tributaries, you have to be ready. You have the ideas, the monarch point generation from your tributaries, and a solid economy to basically roll over everyone. You should also complete the Forbidden City decision when possible. It gives permanent stab cost and yearly prestige modifiers. And that is where I am right now in game. I will continue this game and I'll send you guys updates on both YouTube post and Discord, but I think this guide should be enough for you to get a good head start and establish a strong Qing early enough that you don't need to fear any big European nation. You will need allies though, so start looking for someone. Ottomans would be preferable obviously if you can get them. I hope this guide helped. Do share with us your playthrough on the new Qing and how are you finding the new patch so far. Let us know down in comments. You were watching a Radio's Guide. Thank you for your time and I'll see you all in the next one.